Smile, you fucks. This is the scattered thoughts of Mr. Know-It-All. And of course, the typical camera fucking thing moving. Loki, calm down. So, I haven't talked to you guys in a while because that's just how I roll. You know, homie G Dawg. No, that's not how I fucking talk. Some people talk that way, whatever. On that topic for a moment, I have some friends that have called me dog or homie or boss, and it rubs me wrong. I know their intentions isn't to offend me or anything, but I don't like those slang words. I never have. It just bothers me. It just, like, I don't even know how to go about this conversation without coming off the wrong way. You have people that are into the hip-hop culture. Nothing wrong with that. I like, you know, some rap, hip-hop, hype, whatever. I fucking love it compared to country, that's for sure. But I'm like one of those metalheads that prefers rap, and then you got metalheads that prefer country. I'm sure there's some out there that prefer both. But you usually have your metalheads that are into rap or your metalheads that are into country. See the puppies, Loki? Okay, back to this. But anyways, like I love DMX. That's probably my favorite rapper. Old Mystical, old Bone Thugs. I'm picking my nose. The first fucking Snoop Dogg, that album was fucking perfect, you know, for the most part, for being rap. I don't like anything after it. But anyways, I was talking about the homie G, Dawg, this. You got the ones that are into that type of music, culture, whatever, and you can tell they're not being fake or whatever. But you got a lot of them that overdo it, overkill like a motherfucker, and I want to just slap them upside the fucking head. It's like, come on, man. Talk about fake as fuck. I won't go much deeper on that, but I'm sure some of you would know what I'm talking about. You know, like, I fucking, it feels weird saying this, but because I'm not like big into rap, but you know, I love DMX and those ones that I just listed. But you don't hear me walking around, what up, dog? What up, homie G? Hey, what's up, boss? Hey, I get it. That's some people's things. But fuck, man, it just comes off. It just irks me. It's kind of like when something's corny, or it just gives me that like. So when people call me that, I be like, hey, no, don't. And I know they get upset at me, but I just say, hey, I know you didn't mean it in a bad way, but please don't call me that. It just rubs me wrong. Okay, on the next subject, I wanted to have a little music talk, and this is just my opinion. Some of my thoughts on Metallica. I know Metallica has always been talked about as common, but this is just my perspective. Because honestly, Metallica is a huge influence on me. Anyone that listens to my band, No Class Assassins, or knows me personally, knows that when it comes to my brand of metal, it's all about the groove. And other people, you know, their definition of groove, or what they feel is groove, is way fucking different than me. Groove, the hook, those, I guess you could say, simplified riffs that just fucking make your head bob. I don't give a fuck if they're simple, because I feel them. It's like Walk from Pantera. Simple but catchy as fuck. I love riffs like that. That's why Obituary, you know, they were always my favorite death metal band. But I still like, you know, depending on the album, like Domination from fucking Morbid Angel. That's a lot, that's groove, but more technical. I love that album. Metallica, damn it. See, I drift off. Scattered thoughts. This better be recorded too. Okay, here's some opinions. I'm sure like more of the old school brutal fans would probably say, I'm just guessing, but on average most would say Master of Puppets is Metallica's best album. I personally don't think so. Maybe production, well, not even production wise, but it's not far off. Production wise, most would probably say the Black Album, and I can agree with that, even though that's not my top album. Production wise, how clean it is, how good it sounds in any system, just like fucking Pantera albums. You can put them in the shittiest little kids fucking weird ass radio and it's fucking still badass. My favorite Metallica album has always been Injustice for All. Yes, it doesn't have bass, but the songs, it's kind of like Fear Factory's The Manufacture. It's more guitar driven, but damn, it's just every riff in song is fucking golden. Not only, man, like they're writing like fucking longer than 6 minutes on average, you know, to write songs that have riffs that are that golden, that don't overdo it and bore you like a rap song playing the same fucking hook for 5 minutes without any change-ups. That's something I wish rap would do, is switch shit up like that, right? If rap wrote their songs more like a metal band, they wouldn't have to fucking mix their songs in the future and only play them for a second. But back to Metallica, damn it. Injustice for All is my favorite. Production-wise, it's still badass. I don't give a fuck. Does it lack bass? Yeah. But if you took like the production of the Black Album and put it on that, you get my drift. But at the same time, the reasons albums have a certain vibe is because of those little fuck-ups. It's just how it is. I'd say, but Master of Puppets is fucking brutal and badass too. Not only that, all the bass players that Metallica has had are badass in their own way. And I wish that Jason Newsted would have used it more. Maybe he did, but I didn't really hear it. But what made Master of Puppets shine to me, besides the fucking just nice balance of heavy groove and speed that's catchy. That's the thing. Slayer, Metallica, that's catchy speed, not just fucking nonsense. I can't even hear the riff. Like, you can blast but and still have a fucking riff, you know, that you can fucking hear. The effects on Cliff Burton's bass, it colored up the songs. I don't know what if it is, flange or phaser or distortion, probably all of those. But that filled in the gaps. So when the bass could shine, it just brought a certain vibe and color to the album. And that's something that Injustice for All and the Black Album and other albums could have had. But anyways, I'd say those three are my tops. The thing that pisses me off with the Black Album is when you have that many radio hits or songs played on the radio. I hate saying it, but even with Pantera, it makes me want to skip it. That's why my favorite Pantera album, Far Beyond Driven. Another thing that makes me like it more and that I can listen to it more often is like only 1 or 2 songs have been played on the radio. And I don't have to skip past it because it's been overplayed as much. I do sometimes, but you catch my drift. Another album that's really close up there for me, even though most people fucking probably think it's weird, is the first Metallica Load album. Yeah, it's not fucking thrash. Yeah, it's not fucking super heavy. But if you actually take the time to listen to that album, those songs are fucking well written and fucking groovy and have lots of fucking soul and feel to them. I fucking... Towards the end of the album, there might... I don't know, there might be maybe 1 or 2 on that first Load album that I would like replaced from the second Load album. If I could take both of them, then I could create one badass album. I think the second Load album had some fillers at the second half, or what would be the B side of the second Load album. Still, well, I don't know, I wouldn't say well-written songs, but quality songs compared to most music out there. But I don't know, it's just the first Load album all the way, you know, to the this is the house that Jack built. I don't know if that's the song, but I don't know, it's all of them, they're fucking good. I really like Load, I don't care what people say. Another album that surprised me when its albums past Saint Anger is Death Magnetic. I don't really like the album artwork or even the name of the fucking album. It looks cheesy to me. But the music is actually, I feel it. It's catchy. It's almost like a mix of Load meets the Black Album or something like that. It's still a good album. I really didn't get into Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I hate the fucking album cover. It's a ripoff of Crowbar's Oddfellow Rest, and they did a worse job of the cover. Crowbar did it way better. The songs are not my thing. They're trying too hard to be old school thrash, but James's voice is not thrashy anymore. He just sings too pretty to fit that style well, at least for me. Let's think. I'm back at home, 13 minutes in, still have some time to talk. Let's see. What the fuck? What's the album that has Fade to Black? I feel so stupid. The first album is Kill 'Em All. It's one of my least favorite, actually. I've never been like a huge thrash fan, like old school thrash. I'm not saying that no Metallica album sucks. Even Saint Anger. If Saint Anger was, if the tones and production and were like the Black Album or Master of Puppets, that album could actually be a lot better. But Kill 'Em All for me personally is, I don't know, maybe second to last for me, or third to last. I can't believe, Ride the Lightning. Ride the Lightning. See, that's a fucking album that just needs, if you could go back in time, that's a very well written album that just needs better production. Imagine the production of Master of Puppets or fucking the Black Album, fuck even Load. It would bring those songs to life more. But part of the vibe of an album is capturing the sound qualities and tones of that time era, the 80s, you know. It's like watching the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And not just because it's the first and the best, but the quality of the film, I don't know if that's 60s or 70s or even 80s, is what makes that fucking so scary and badass. If fucking people who were truly into horror movies would use their fucking brain, I'm talking, not even Rob Zombie. People might think he does, but I'm telling you, man, if they used that quality, took those cameras from that time and said, I want to make a fucking good horror movie, in like the first Exorcist, that quality of film, they can make a killer, really scary, bad-ass movie, man. I don't get how that's not done. That makes no fucking sense to me. Like, you know, everyone thinks I'm just a dumb fucking piece of shit with no brain. You know, I just sit here living in my trailer. I can think of that, but they can't. I find that fucking odd. So, I know this is just, you know, I don't categorize shit. It's just my random views and opinions on the Metallica albums. Like, the Metallica album is the bridge between when James' voice changed. Sometimes when a vocalist learns how to sing more proper, or what some people consider better, it doesn't sound as good to me. Example, I love the first two Life of Agony albums. Then the Bridge album, I don't know what that album's called, something Sun with Heroin Dreams on it. They might have even had a different drummer. That album is, I don't know. Well, it's also the singer who's going through musical changes, life changes. But that's with every band. But the albums after that, my personal taste, I don't like. I like the singer's old voice. It was kind of Danzig-ish. I loved it. It was perfect to me. So that's what happened to James. I can still get into his voice, but he's too singy. It's too pretty. Like, I want more of that harshness back. See, that's a thing, though. Like, some people are like, oh, you just like mainstream music or this or that, or like you can't handle brutal music. Fuck, I like brutal music. I like brutal music that's done well. I love The Faceless. I love Despised Icon. I wouldn't say they're like one of my top bands, but when it comes to grind or brutal music, the Red Chord is one of my top bands. If you actually take the time to learn the music, you're like, holy fuck, that's a unique type of grind or death metal. What else can I say about Metallica? A lot of people bitch about Lars. Yeah, he could have learned to get better, but that's another thing, man. He played what he was capable, and he made the best of what he had, skill-wise, or whatever. And they still made killer songs. They made songs that people think are super fast, yet he's not playing super fast. It's all about, I call it survival. That's what I do with my band No Class. We take the best of what we can do or find within our brain or our equipment and make the best of it. That's why we call ourselves Survivor Men. We're like Survivor Men. They took the best of their skills and made fucking badass songs. So everyone whines about Lars drumming, but look how fucking well they did. And I'm not even saying just because they're famous, because even if they weren't famous, I would still like their music. But it's going on 20 minutes. It's about the end. I fucking love you guys. Thank you guys, the ones that check me out. Please share my video. Like them. Comment. Do something. I only have like 55 subscribers at this point in time. It is November, the end of November, like the 20th or 21st.
Have a good